There are new championship titles coming to All Elite Wrestling, and a former champion has left WWE. But first, WWE officials have shown interest in a recent AEW debutant. This past Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, William Morrissey, the former Big Cass in WWE, would make his debut for the promotion as MJF's mystery opponent for Wardlow, being billed as his largest opponent to date. Whilst he was unsuccessful in the match, Morrissey stood out in his performance, particularly with his impressive physique and in-ring ability. Speaking on the Mat Men podcast this week, Andrew Zarian would reveal that he is being contacted by individuals within WWE who have expressed an interest in the big man. And he would say, "I'm not going to say that WWE is going to take him, but I can tell you that WWE is definitely impressed by him. There's no way around it, man. I got a message last night while he's coming out and somebody wrote, 'Did you see this effing guy?'" Zarian would go on to state that there has since been people within the company inquiring about Morrissey's contract status, and he added, "I got a couple of messages about him from people wanting to know when his contract ends." Morrissey is currently a free agent despite his recent AEW appearance, whilst continuing to work as a regular for Impact Wrestling. It's currently unknown if AEW plan to steal him away from Impact, but we do now know that he has caught the attention of WWE with his recent match with Wardlow. But what do you make of William Morrissey on Dynamite, and what do you think his future holds? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, we have an injury update concerning an absent AEW wrestler. It was recently reported by Fightful that Darius Martin, one half of the Top Flight tag team, had picked up yet another injury, this just weeks following his return from a different injury that kept him out of action for 14 months. This week, AEW's Malachi Black would appear on the Universal Wrestling podcast, where he discussed Darius's injury status, revealing that he was involved in a car accident and could be out for up to 6 to 9 months. This is of course sad news for the 22-year-old who has just been grinding for a return, but I guess the silver lining is that the car accident wasn't more serious. Martin would recently post a photo on his Twitter page where he was seen wearing a neck brace, suggesting that he has a neck injury that he sustained during the incident. Hopefully we can see Darius back to full health in the coming months, and we wish him all the best in his recovery. And speaking of neck injuries, an injured WWE champion has provided a major health update. 2 months ago on an episode of Monday Night Raw, the New Day's Big E would suffer from a broken neck, landing on his head during a belly-to-belly suplex spot on the outside. He would specifically fracture his C6 and C1 vertebrae, with the latter being a particularly dangerous injury to sustain. E would take to Twitter today to provide an update on his recovery, with him suggesting that things may not be going to plan, and he would write, "For those desirous of an update, my C1 apparently isn't healing optimally. I'll spend another 4 to 6 weeks in a brace in hopes that I can avoid a fusion, but don't you fret, I've got a tremendous support system, and what shall be, shall be." Following the injury, Dr. David Chow would write an article for Outkick.com, noting that a C1 fracture is dangerous and commonly associated with immediate death or complete paralysis, which shows the true severity of Big E's injury. Luckily, E would avoid such devastating effects, although his latest tweet could suggest that he could be looking for a career outside of wrestling if the healing process doesn't go so well, which I think he meant by what shall be, shall be. Of course, we send our support to Big E and wish him the best over the coming months ahead. Next up, New Japan's Will Ospreay is set for a big debut. Today it was announced that the Englishman will be making his first appearance for Game Changer Wrestling next month at the I Never Liked You event in Providence, Rhode Island. The former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion is currently signed to New Japan but has continued to work independent dates in the States, including for Warrior Wrestling and many more. His opponent for the GCW show is yet to be confirmed, although he may be walking in as the IWGP United States champion if he is successful next Saturday at the New Japan Capital Collision show, where he battles Bullet Club's Juice Robinson, AEW's Jon Moxley, and current champion Hiroshi Tanahashi in 4-man action. GCW I Never Liked You will take place on Sunday, June 16th, and is available using our Fight affiliate link in the description below if you fancy checking it out. Next, let's go to some Impact Wrestling news as a championship match has been added to their upcoming pay-per-view. Tomorrow night, Impact will hold their second ever Under Siege event, which will be headlined by a match for the Impact World title, with Josh Alexander set to defend against New Japan Pro Wrestling star Tomohiro Ishii. On this week's episode of Impact, yet another title match was confirmed for the show, with the X Division Championship set to be on the line. New champion Ace Austin will make his next defense of his new belt when he takes on former champion Trey Miguel in singles action. On April 23rd, Ace would pin Miguel in a three-way match for the belt, with Trey now getting his rematch. Just like the GCW event, Impact Under Siege is available using our Fight affiliate link in the description below if you want to see what goes down. Next up, a Ring of Honor champion has called for an end to wrestling tribalism. Speaking on the AEW Unrestricted podcast this week, ROH television champion Samoa Joe would discuss online bickering between AEW and WWE fans, a discourse that has grew increasingly toxic and aggressive over recent years. Joe would call the online arguing ridiculous, with him feeling that it is driven by ego, and he would say, "I know this may blow up the narrative, but that's how I understand it. I'm not on the internet every day catching all the buzzwords and getting with the revolution and stuff. I think the arguing between AEW and the WWE fans is ridiculous. Watch pro wrestling." You don't need to dunk on this. It's you taking your ego and taking something you have nothing involved with and trying to start a conflict. I mean, watch what you watch, enjoy what you want to enjoy, but hey, I'm always going to be a pro value for wrestlers no matter what. Joe was released from WWE in January 2022 before joining AEW to become the ROH television champion on a recent episode of Dynamite, and has worked on both sides of the fence. But do you agree with Joe's comments on wrestling tribalism, and should it come to an end? Let's have a civil debate in the comments down below. Next up, let's head down to Mexico, where there is set to be a huge title unification match. In June, Lucha Libre AAA will host the Triple Mania 30 Tijuana event, where a winner-takes-all match has been scheduled for 2 or potentially 3 title belts. Bandido, Black Taurus, Hijo del Vikingo, Laredo Kid, and Rey Fenix are set to battle in a 5-way match, with it being announced that Taurus's Latin American and Laredo's World Cruiserweight Championships will be on the line. It's also worth noting that Vikingo is the current AAA Mega Champion, although it hasn't been confirmed if this will also be up for grabs. If Vikingo were to win, he would become the first luchador to hold all 3 belts since 2017, when the former John Morrison would become a triple champion. The match joins an already stacked card, which will see the Hardy Boys head to AAA to take on Dragon Lee and Dralistico in a match that is expected to main event the show. And next up, speaking of title belts, a brand new championship is heading to All Elite Wrestling. Ever since the company began, there has been speculation surrounding the introduction of a 6-man tag or trios belts to AEW, with the company being filled with factions and stables to battle for the belts. Well, this week we have a major breakthrough with Dave Meltzer speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, where he would reveal that the belts have in fact been created. Meltzer would break the news with their introduction now just a matter of time, and he would say, "Trios title belts have been made, so now it's just a matter of when they pull the trigger." Tony Khan was asked about making trios titles and gave the indication a few months ago that it was happening, but they didn't want to do the tournament until Kenny Omega was back. AEW isn't short of potential trios teams, with the Elite, the Undisputed Elite, the Death Triangle, and many more ready to fill out what could be a stacked division. But who do you think should be the first AEW Trios champions? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, another former champion in WWE has left the company. According to Fightful Select, the contract of former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Candice LeRae has now expired, meaning she is officially a free agent. It had been reported earlier this year that her deal was up this spring, and this morning she was moved to the alumni section of the company's website. Fightful then reached out to sources within the promotion who confirmed her exit. LeRae has now joined her husband Johnny Gargano on the free agency market, this following the recent birth of the couple's first child in February. Candice has been absent from WWE television since July 2021 after going on maternity leave, and it's currently unknown if she has any plans to return to the squared circle anytime soon, with her baby now 3 months old. It's worth noting that LeRae is not subject to a non-compete clause due to this being a contract expiration and not a release, meaning she is free to work elsewhere as soon as she likes. But where do you think Candice LeRae ends up next? Let me know in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out the 12 most obscure WWE appearances from AEW wrestlers.